Hey, great Thursday evening. It is a beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville, Texas. And let me put my screen right because for some reason I still have, I'm doing a lot of rookie mistakes. I still have my my Facebook page up. And the bad thing about having the Facebook page up is that all of a sudden you'll start hearing some ding, 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 ding. And I don't want you to hear the ding, ding. Ay, let's see. Kirina, buenas noches. Good evening, gentlemen. I know they look like gentlemen, but they're really not men. Good evening, y'all. You see? Leah, y'all. Good evening, Sandra. Good evening, Lily. Good evening, Joe. And Frankie said that he's coming along. He's still out there trying to find where to put up signs. Let me tell you, that guy is out there putting up more signs than I ever saw ever in a political campaign. But it's good thing that they're out working it hard. Buenas noches, mi sobrino Vicente, Claudia. Good evening. Doc Shadow says hello. Doc Shadow, get ready for bed. And Claudia, I called you today about picking up the light bulbs, but I'll call you again tomorrow. You didn't answer your phone. Good evening, Mary Lou, mi amorcito. Good evening, Jadiel. Te estoy esperando que vengas, Jadiel. J. Daniel, te estoy esperando. Come visit me tomorrow. And Nina, good evening, ladies. La famosa Southmost Cats. Bro, what's up, my man, Abraham? Jessica, the best mustachon in the world. Jessica. Good evening, Goat. That's me. And Ida. And Vero, Leazad. No se olvide por Vero. Está en medio. Good evening,
Michelle. I'm a borreguito.
Borreguito.
Oh, that's what it was.
Good evening, Frank Lerma, one of our first responders. Great job out there. Belinda, good evening. Just finished watching AOB local elections live. Woo! Yes. Great information from a great platform from an amazing organization. Good evening, Pedro. Kat. Good evening, Matthew. Why, goodness gracious, Castro. Love you, Matthew. Good evening, beautiful people. Me and okay. Good evening, Richard and Jessica. Love you. Buenas noches, Marcos. Marcos, how are we coming on the stickers, bro? I know I just asked for them this morning. I don't pay for them, and then I want to make demands like, "Hey, what are los stickers?"
Apúrense.
Love you, bro. Good evening. No hay signs acá por la 802 en Padre. Oh, you're right. Actually, I'm going to put some up on Saturday. That's the only spot that I personally haven't had a chance to put up signs yet, but I promise I have to go cover my Rivera family out there. Good evening, Veronica. And I don't have a missed call from you today, but I will be there tomorrow. Yes! Always good for lunch. Estrellita hermosa, ¿cómo estás? Guys, I'm going to end now because, we're going to be going all night. Guys, it's just a rock, Alex! Guys, one of the things that came out today was the positive numbers out in the city of Brownsville. We do have 105 positive Ronas for the city of Brownsville and 3 deaths. Again, guys, it's still not the time to get comfortable. Again, one of the things that I think the mayor was trying to tell us this week was don't get comfortable on the numbers because I think, if I'm not mistaken, shout out to Leslie Medrano. One thing that I think the Kingpin has spoken. ¿Dónde están los stickers? Ahí vienen. Guys, one thing that we can't get comfortable with is, we can't feel too comfortable in regards to the numbers because we don't exactly know what the numbers mean. Is there a lot less testing being done? Yes. Are individuals going to different facilities out there instead of the ones that are, being generated by the city of Brownsville or by Cameron County or by the federal government? That's also a possibility. So we cannot get comfortable, folks. Cannot get comfortable. We have to take it in stride. Again, I've been saying this for months, and I'll say it again. The only number that we are sure of is the number of deaths and the times the dog is going to bark tonight. The number of deaths and the number of deaths out there, and that's the only number that we can actually, pinpoint. Also, the other numbers that Pobre perrito. Peter? Yeah, this is Erasmo. Peter, yeah, let me inbox you Veronica Borrego's address. So, yeah, that dog is crying out for salvation. Yeah, I think this. Este, but guys, uh, okay, aside, the only number that we can actually really rely on is the number of deaths out there and the number of individuals that are still in the ICU. Again, everyone that has lost family, friends, we have. Anyone out there that is fighting coronavirus or has someone in the ICU, our prayers continue to go out to you all. To you all. Vero, what did the numbers tell you?
We're still not. Yes, Belinda, I get all red. We're still not doing what we need to be doing. We need to keep being safe. We need to keep wearing the mask. I mean, yes, the numbers have come down a little bit, but it's on us, guys. Like we just really need to make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing to get to a safe point. We want to get back to as much of a normal as we can. And the only way to do that is to be wearing the mask. And that's been proven in different cities and states where the masks have been mandated for a long time already. And that's why their numbers are really down. So we just need to make sure that we keep doing that.
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's simple science. It's follow the directions, follow the directives, follow the recommendations. One of the things that I've had the opportunity to share with a lot of people out there is, look, guys. Last week I did do the antibody test, and I did the antibody test more than anything to let individuals know that what the process is. So we did do it live, so we had that opportunity to show individuals what was going on. But with that said, I will say that I tested negative, negative, negative. So I have never had coronavirus, and I don't plan to ever have coronavirus. And the way that I guarantee myself not having coronavirus is doing my best to wear face coverings everywhere I go, have a hand sanitizer always close by, este, on both sides of myself. And, guys, maintain social distancing. I stay at my office almost all day unless I'm putting up signs or people coming picking up cookies. And let me tell you, folks, it's one of those good times for you to come pick up cookies because Erasmo is negative. Can pick up cookies. But yeah, follow the guidelines, the different directives, and you're going to be okay. And guys, we have to again, we've been saying it for months. Stay as far away as possible so that we can come back together sooner. And we're just waiting for the vaccine, Ida.
Exactly. I think actually the numbers concern me a little bit more because the fact that the number of positives might be down because there's less testing going on is going to make people put their guard down, and they're going to think it's safe to start hanging out again and having gatherings and things like that. But you can still see that the death rate is still there. The numbers are still at more or less the same rate. The hospitals are still overloaded. It's not as packed, but still, they still had to open up. It's so hard to concentrate when Erasmo's doing those things.
Well, if doctors eating steak and lobster, I said mochate. Sorry.
So, but when we see that the convention centers having to still be open to hold, extra beds and things like that, it's still alarming. So we don't want people to think just because the numbers of the positive cases are going down, that it's just because there's less testing going on. So we still have to be very careful and do our part in helping to completely get these numbers under control.
Wow. Frankie, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Good evening, ladies. Good evening, Erasmo. Hello, world. I apologize for my tardiness. I'm out on the campaign trail. I got out a little bit later than expected, but it's always an amazing thing whenever we stop and speak with the community. It's always very rewarding for myself just to get to know different people, their ideas, what they expect from people in public service. So it's the campaign trail is full force, and it was a great evening for myself. I had a great day, Erasmo. One thing I wanted to ask the ladies on tonight is, Tuesday is right around the corner. What are the expectations for these teachers coming in, starting with distance learning, Vero?
So, actually, today at my campus, we had meet the teacher, and it was actually pretty successful. It did make me a little sad because I miss being able to see my kids and hug them as soon as they walk in and tell them I've missed them. How's your summer? It was kind of surreal to ask, "How's your summer?" and nobody did anything. Everybody was stuck at home. So it was kind of, it was a little depressing. God bless you. But the expectation is, we've got our schedule. We know what we need to do as far as asynchronous and synchronous, and what needs to be provided. We've already started making sure that we contact all of our students, and that everybody has the devices that they need, and whatever it is that they're going to need to get it done. We've been in contact with the most of our kids, and we're still pending some that we're going to be getting into contact with tomorrow. And just want to make sure that they're ready. We're ready as teachers. We're ready. We've already got our stuff set up. We're just trying to make sure that our kids are ready and have what they need and know what's expected of them as well. So
awesome work. And teachers are going to shine some way or other. But I have received a lot of concerns in regards to a lot of the individuals who have been called in. As a matter of fact, tomorrow for these emergency little powwows or something or other, and it's just disrupted their whole schedule. But let's go into Vales first. Vales, I don't know what the topic is agenda, but I'm going to start off with something detrimental happening. My microphone just went kaboom. Happening at BISD. Teachers and staff are being moved around. However, office staff are left with double duties for the same paying teachers with classes of 38, 40, 42 students. You kidding me? Have y'all heard concerns about this?
Oh my goodness, definitely. And we did already reach out to HR to see what's going on. Right now, it's very difficult and hard to believe how many teachers are being shifted around this late in the game, because the teachers have already been ready to go, have done all of their PD during the summer. I mean, that's how our teachers are. They're planners. They already, try to be prepared as much as possible. They don't wait for the last minute. So we have several cases where the teachers have done their professional development for their grade level, and then come to find out between yesterday and today, and actually even since Monday, last minute changes going to a whole different grade level. And that's heartbreaking because, these teachers had already completely prepared for their grade level. And the other thing that we're seeing is the high numbers in these classes. So we are already looking into that, because there's no way that this is going to be possible to launch, especially virtually. So yes, do continue to let us know if your class roster is showing those numbers. Especially, I mean, the highest that I heard was, I think, 42 on one of them, and that's just ridiculous. So we need to know. I don't know who might be overseeing that, but it needs to be corrected as soon as possible.
Well, a lot of the other issues that I'm getting is that a lot of individuals are being asked to drop everything that they're doing. I mean, goodness gracious, we are only 2-3 days away from actually starting school. People are being asked to drop everything they're doing and come into an emergency or an all of a sudden meeting tomorrow at, I don't know, 9 o'clock and stuff. I mean, and I'm going to answer my own question, but I'm going to get your opinion on it, Vero. I think part of the problem is, again, we have no plan. And, the plan that we had, apparently, that they claimed was a plan, never really was a plan. And in their minds, they think that they started on this plan back in April when they actually did not. Because if they would have started in April, we would not be in this mess. Now, one of the reasons that they moved the date to the 25th was because they weren't ready to start the school year in any way, shape, or form. now that even despite the fact that we've moved the date to the 25th, I mean, my staff is out there still wanting to have or are being asked to come into emergency meetings at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, disrupt everything else that they're doing in order to come into these de repente all of a sudden type of meetings. And let me tell you, I'm very, very concerned with people being moved around back and forth because unlike this board and unlike this upper administration, folks, I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but my teachers out there, my counselors, my staff, they've been preparing for months, and then for all of a sudden to say, "Oh, what? Well, you're going to be moved." I mean, Vero, I mean, it's just heartbreaking, and it is irritating and frustrating.
It's demoralizing and it's unprofessional. It's a lack of planning, and some of these moves are not they're not being done because of numbers. It's more because you said something to me that upset me, so I'm just gonna move you and put my friend in your place, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And being called and being told Monday of this week, you need to have all your stuff out of your classroom because the other person's gonna move in, but still not being told you're gonna be moved to kinder.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's very unprofessional to be doing things like that. If it was a teacher that was doing that, we would be reprimanded, we would be written up, we would be, so the standard should be set for the same for administration.
Ida?
Yes, fix that bow tie, please. The other way. It's bothering me. Thank you, Luis. Yes, that's actually something that is a very big concern, and that, hijo,
I'm
that is
trying.
something that we definitely want to work on to set some timelines as far as being able to that there has to be a firm deadline on shifting teachers around, because these last minute changes are not they're not productive for the teacher. And I understand if there has to be changes due to numbers and they're having to be moved to another campus because the class didn't make. I understand that. But moving within the campus, just displacing them just because, as how Vero mentioned, because I know this teacher and this one's my friend and this one's not so much my friend, that should have nothing to do with it. But all of these things should have been decided before, because a lot of these teachers do their PD during the summer. They prepare, and it is not fair to any of the teachers and educators, and it's not fair to the students to have their teacher at the last minute have to go through a different set of training just to be prepared for their class when they had already taken their summer time to prepare for it.
And and that goes back to it's not only preparing the summertime and all of that, but when you're putting somebody in a grade level they've been working in for years. And then you move them to a kinder, that's a whole new ball game. That's a whole new level of classroom management. That's a whole different teaks. You don't have time to learn and master all of that from Monday to next week.
No.
Correct.
Well, it's impossible when you've had individuals that have been doing it for so many years. They're professionals at it already, and
Right.
you can't get someone to change that mindset in 5 days. Goodness gracious, Frankie, have you heard any concerns in regards to the matter?
Parents have reached out to me. Teachers have reached out to me. I think it's very irresponsible of our district to have these teachers, paraprofessionals, prepare for a certain, subject, a certain lesson plan to be moved to a different, at the last minute. I think, we are setting them up for failure. Again, our teachers will go far and beyond, to make sure that every student has the necessary resources to be successful. But then again, when our district is not giving or not backing our teachers, we are setting them up for failure, unfortunately. But again, I'm confident in the teachers that they will do everything possible to make sure that the instruction goes on as planned. But this just goes to show that, leadership, give them more time, and again, we are asking a lot of teachers already. Now imagine for them to build all these curriculum, build all these agendas, all these lesson plans for the last minute to scrap it all and then go back to the drawing boards. It's easy for people at the top, Vero, to say, hey, we gave you this direction, scrap that, now let's go over here. They don't understand the long nights. They don't understand, how long it takes for these individuals to prepare for the day-to-day instruction.
Right.
It's unfortunate that leadership does not take into account all the planning, all the sacrifice, all the hours away from the families that these teachers take away. They work on weekends. Erasmo, we had teachers, coming on here stating that they just finished preparing for, the upcoming year at 8, 9, 10, 11 at night. They're calling parents late at night. They're making sure that they have everything, their ducks in a row, so to speak, so they can be prepared. Now imagine them getting a curveball, and we're about to start on Tuesday. So again, lack of leadership. I feel that we should be giving these people, these individuals, our teachers, a lot more respect, and they deserve it. They deserve it all.
That's exactly right, Frankie. It's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful to me as a professional.
Yes.
It's very disrespectful to me, to my time that I have given outside. And I'm saying me, but it's not me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's the time that has been spent, the money that has been spent on purchasing accounts for different platforms, or purchasing Coco says hi, or purchasing stuff for the back of your to be posted up on the wall behind you as visuals for your kids. All of that, like that's not taken into account. And you know what? I say it's not taken into account, but maybe it is. And it's just a vengeful thing to do to somebody because they called you out on something, or because you didn't like what they said, or because your friend didn't want to be in a testing grade level. So you know what? I'm going to displace you because I don't like you that much, and I'm going to put my friend in second grade so that you don't have to be in the testing grade. It's very disrespectful.
It is very disrespectful. And it again, it's just uncalled for. But again, it goes back to something. And look, folks, it goes back to something we've been saying for a while. Give us a plan. Prepare. Let us know. Be proactive. Be transparent. And as much as they are out there patting themselves on the back and saying, "Oh, okay, we're being proactive, we're being transparent, we have a plan," did not at all. BISD losing teachers to attrition. District says 36 resigned, 42 retired. Her headline on Brownsville Herald website. Your thoughts? Again, let me tell you one of the things that we had here on the show. Last night, we had my amazing friend Lonnie Smith, an amazing educator, an amazing teacher. Opted to retire, although she could have gone 1-2 more years. But a lot of our professionals out there, a lot of our some of the individuals that carry a fortress of educational wealth, knowledge, as their expertise. We're losing it. We're losing it because a lot of these individuals are afraid for their lives because, they have grandchildren, they have family members that they care for, and, they are concerned about their well-being. But one of the things that I will say, and Lonnie didn't make mention of it, but one of the things that we've experienced in our family was the level of anxiety that a lot of our teachers are out there, having to deal with.
Yeah.
Ida, losing 36 people, losing 42 people, a total of 78 individuals is very, very heartbreaking for a district our size.
That is, and that's very upsetting because that has to be more of a recent number, because I know back in May, the end of May, beginning of June, that the number of retirees for the school year was 200 and some. So I believe that number that you're looking at is just a recent one, maybe since August.
Yes.
We have heard of several ones that they just like your guest that you had that you mentioned. She just said no, it's just not worth the risk. And when there's too many unanswered questions, I can't blame them. I can't blame them. I mean, you got to put your health and your family before that. I wish they would have gone other routes first, you know, and exhausted maybe their FMLA and see, you know, if things, you know, could have changed with the virus and things like that. But unfortunately, some of these people didn't want to wait. So
No, and again, what you mentioned is very true. One of the things that we continuously ask a lot of teachers to do is, please be patient. Please be patient. Give us a little bit more time to work out the details. Speak to the different, to the AOBE or associations, and try to get the best answers to a lot of the concerns you have. Frankie, your take on attrition and losing individuals that have been with us for so many years.
You know, it was great to have Lonnie on the show. I really appreciated her experience, her insight, and it's a shame that, you know, somebody of her caliber we're losing at the district. I think she was and could be once again a great attribute for our district. It all boils down to leadership. Unfortunately, this it's been apparent that they've been forcing teachers with experience out of BISD. We should do everything possible, and this goes back to compensation, guys. You know, we they set a cap at 30 years, then they moved it to 35 years. We should be rewarding these teachers for their sacrifice and their time and their dedication. Again, nothing against new, up and coming brand new teachers, but we should try and retain these teachers with experience, with knowledge of how the district runs, what works best for different types of students. And Lonnie is an amazing asset to BISD. Miss Smith is an amazing asset to BISD. And it's unfortunate that we don't do everything possible to try and retain teachers like her, educators like her. I would wish that, you know, we would do everything possible to make sure that they're happy, that they're satisfied, and that they want to give us, how she said, 1 or 2 more years. But BISD is forcing out these teachers to retire. Why? You know, I don't know. But again, it all goes to leadership, and I hope that we take it more into consideration these individuals who have sacrificed and given their time and years to BISD. We should do more to help them out.
Can I make a comment on that? You as to why they're trying to push them out? No. Okay. They're the ones that are getting the most pay, Frankie.
Yes, exactly.
That's the bottom line. They're the ones getting the most pay, and then where does that money go? Because it doesn't come to me in my pocket.
No, and Vero is exactly right. You hit it on the nail. Because look, and guys, when we had the opportunity, I think all of us here saw the meeting when they were showing us that TASB report. Remember, guys, in regards to attrition and how we were overstaffed here, overstaffed there. Isn't it funny, Vero, that we're accepting all these individuals who are retiring, resigning from the district, yet we still don't know how top heavy our administration is at the Glass Palace?
I think it's hilarious that the TASB study focused on the bottom. And I think it's really sad because us that work in the front line, per se, with the students, we're the ones getting snubbed. We're the ones that are out there. We're the ones that are doing all the planning and all of the purchasing of stuff with our own money and doing all these things, teaching, and then there's no respect for us. There's no compassion for us. There's no empathy for us. There's nothing for us. So I just find that was just kind of like another slap in the face. Like it's just not fair.
It isn't fair. Yes, Sandra, that information is being provided to staff. Also, I know that AOBE is constantly making mention of all the benefits out there to our teachers. If I'm not mistaken, they had a live on it last week or 2 weeks ago. And again, they're always available to answer those questions. So how does the 4-week waiver work? And if it doesn't get approved, are students and teachers supposed to go back in November? May as well wait until January. Well, I'm going to start this off, and then I'm going to let everyone else give their take on it. Again, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. I don't think that we're going to get the waiver after the first 4 weeks. I still don't believe it. I think that what they're preparing us for, and a lot of the different presentations that were being given at the board meetings, were to direct our staff to, hey, don't be surprised. It's going to start coming back to face to face. Now, take into account also a lot of the directives being given by the President of the United States, a lot of the threats that are being given all the way from the top, as well as a lot of the comments that are being made at the state level in regards to the governor of the state of Texas. I tend to believe and to feel that there's this wave, this air of individuals wanting to come back after 4 weeks of distance learning into some sort of form of face-to-face learning. Now, you mentioned November, but I think November has to do with other districts in our area who have opted to come back in November if possible. But again, my stance is going to stay the same. I truly, truly believe that we shouldn't be coming back until January 2021, at least as a minimum, to see where we're at. Vero?
So, the first thing I'm going to say is we already know that the president and Betsy DeVos don't have the power to take away the money, right? So they make all the threats, but they don't have the authority to do that. And then at the state level, there's also threats coming from the state level. And so in some cases, they may have the authority, but the district can fight back. The district can push back.
Like San Antonio?
For their employees. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's common sense. And, then you think about, okay, they're saying the 4 weeks, but they passed a resolution that said we were not going to go back until it was safe to return. So that's why so much confusion is coming from everybody, because the resolution was passed, and then they talked about they already sent the second waiver for the second 4 weeks, and then maybe it's not going to happen. So what is it?
Well, let me say real quick. Again, that's what concerns me, Ida. That's what concerns me about having such faulty numbers, because they're going to base it as per the governor and the governor's task force and Mike Morath as well. They're going to base it on how the situation is at the county level, at the local level, at the city level. And if our numbers are showing 40, 30, 20 positives, and maybe no deaths as we have been reporting, then what's the reason for them not to come back up to campus, Ida?
Yep. And that could be what they're planning on doing, because the fact that the resolution shows that that's what was approved, and for him to be talking about, for now, for sure, we have the 4 weeks, and then we're going to be filing for the additional 4 weeks. How does that matter to us? It doesn't matter if what was approved was until it is proven safely to return to face-to-face. So it's just another thing that is contradicting, that is sent out from the superintendent, and we have issues with that, and we're just going to continue to hold them accountable to what it is that they're approving. And if they do rescind or make certain decisions, what are they basing them on? Because we're still advocating for there to be medical professionals on these task force. I mean, you have to have experts when it is something that we're looking at that is a virus. How can we not have any medical professional staff on these task force? I mean, it just makes no sense. So we're going to continue to hold them to what it is that they're approving and what they're saying that they're going to do. I mean, they can't just start talking about something else and expect us to forget what was approved.
100%. Puppy, if you're in trouble, please say the safe word, Puppy.
The safe word is AOBE pet insurance.
Frankie.
Guys, it's been apparent from day one. Let's go back to March and April when they had their simulated town hall. They did not want to go distant learning. They have been adamant since day one to have the students go back to the brick and mortars, and this goes back to planning. Look how late we are in the game. We don't have the hotspots available to, to really get all the reach of the city of Brownsville. We have 2,000 when in reality we should have a lot more. We're barely distributing the supplies the week before, and some schools are still delivering supplies. On the couple days before the start of the new school year. It all goes back to these individuals wanting to go back to the brick and mortars. And again, I don't believe that they will ask for another extension past September 28th, if I'm not mistaken. I think they will want to go back. And again, I think in the they on the board meeting, on the agenda, they said that it was safe to return scientifically. And again, Erasmo made a good point. It's all based on the numbers. Today, I believe Cameron County reported 200 positive cases. We are on the brink of having a second wave. The flu season's coming around.
Yeah.
Do we honestly think that it's safe to go back? We had a teacher at Oliveira, Kenaro Martinez, on this show a couple days ago, and he said, "I'm not ready to go back. My kids aren't going to go back to school." And this is the same sentiment, I'm sure, of many teachers, of many employees of the district. Right. But again, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with leadership who does not get advice from the medical professionals, who are so quick to throw everybody back into the brick and mortars. We have seen how people have turned up positive at the Glass Palace when there have been limited amount of people at those locations. Imagine, and again, to bring the story up, what happened in Georgia, guys? In Georgia, they brought back the students, they brought back the teachers, and guess what? There was an outbreak. Are we asking for another outbreak here in the city of Brownsville? I hope not. But again, that's what it's going to. So I would hope that our current board members would take this into account. Look at the situation in Georgia. Let's not let that happen here in the city of Brownsville.
Let me say, they just don't care. They just don't care. I mean, look at the Glass Palace. On the third floor, there's another positive that popped up last week on the third floor. And, everyone's walking around and everyone's tripping because the people at the Glass Palace, they know that they've tested positive. Still, there's been nothing being done about it. It's at that point that they just don't care. And again, look, you guys, I understand that a lot of individuals are going to test positive. A lot of individuals are going to test positive. Some of us are not going to test positive. And some of us are not going to test positive because we take care of ourselves. We don't get close to other individuals. We do our best to social distance. The problem with my people at the Glass Palace is they don't have an option to social distance because as AOBE, made it very, very clear, the superintendent is with, his secretary in a big old chunk or part of, the third floor. Right. But my people at finance, where the positive came from, the people at finance, I mean, they're in a small little cubicle. So you can't compare one thing to the other. You cannot. And again, sending individuals back into the campuses, into the buildings is a huge mistake. I'm going to get off my soap and let's start answering questions. If everything is distance learning, what will everyone else be doing? Bus drivers, nurses, not hating, just wondering what will their role be in the new world? Well, my take, there's a lot of work to be done, guys, because if anyone thinks that this social distancing is a walk in the park or a park in the walk, is a walk in the park, it is not. It is not. It takes a lot from individuals to start preparing, to start changing, because the mindset of our educators out there they look, guys, let's be very, very clear. All our teachers, all of them, 100% of our teachers, our counselors, our diagnosticians, Rona, 100% of our people out there, 100%, they want face-to-face learning.
Yes.
100% want face-to-face learning. 100%. And despite what the superintendent says, despite what this board says, my teachers are not lazy. My teachers don't want to work. My teachers don't want it easy. Despite what the superintendent and despite what this corrupt board says out there regularly and says quietly in private, that is definitely not the case. Not the case at all. There's a lot of work to be done. Guys, I just got a question today that I forwarded over to BISD in regards to a lot of parents that, are working and won't be able to pick up their meals. They won't be able to present the barcode. Those are options for individuals to be out there even delivering food if necessary. We have the buses, we have the personnel. There is a lot to do, and our nurses, my goodness gracious, there's tons of opportunities for our nurses. And I know and I'm not barking at you, Rolando. I'm barking at the puppy that Vero is abusing over there. But there's a lot of opportunities for our nurses to get even more involved in the educational process, because our students at all levels, they need that education, that health education. They need to know, guys, this is what could happen. So even our nurses are going to be an integral part. And I understand what you're saying. Vero, you want to take a shot at this?
Yeah, I just, there's so many things that they could be assigned to do. Helping to contact parents to find the students that we can't find.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then you look at stuff like that, like Mr. Tejeda said, and that just brings more fear, right? And so, giving them different tasks to complete. They don't have to be driving the bus. They wouldn't have been driving a full bus anyway, because of the limitations as far as the amount of kids inside the bus that we're going to be allowed and all of that. But there's so many other things that they could be helping with. And like you said, Erasmo, maybe take a bus full of food at a bus stop and have the kids come and pick it up there. And you don't have to have contact. You can stick it out the window.
Yeah, you can set up a table out there, and have them, slowly start coming and picking up. I mean, there's options. We just need some form of planning, Ida. Something, Ida.
Exactly, and that's where they're falling short on this. They mentioned there about the nurses, and I mentioned it at the school board meeting, where why is there 4 pages of what the nurses can do for distance learning in their plan, and yet they're asking for all nurses to report to the workplace. So, okay, another situation where it's contradicting what we're putting in the plans and what we're carrying out. And as far as work for everyone else, there is plenty to be done. It's about moving forward and starting to think outside the box of how we can serve now with this new norm that we're looking at. And who knows how long this is going to last. But yes, right. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the bus drivers driving the same routes anymore. But yes, we can help in other areas, delivering the food, whatever it takes to be able to be supportive to the students and to the employees. There's plenty of things to be done.
Too many. Frankie, your take.
We have to adapt to our new world, and we do have to think outside the box. Why not give, training to these bus drivers? Maybe they could start disinfecting. They could help clean. They could, obviously they're going to be some of them, if not all, are going to be driving around with the hot spots and things like that. But, let's not be stagnant. Let's move forward. Let's be proactive. And that's something that this board, that this leadership is lacking. We are on the brink of a start of a new academic year, and we still have questions. We still have doubts as to how we are to proceed. How are teachers going to proceed? We don't know. And again, nobody could plan for a pandemic. I understand that. Nobody could plan for this. But we expect people at the top to be able to give us 2 options, 3 options, plan A, plan B, plan C. We have to be proactive. And unfortunately, this board, this leadership has not given us that.
Read that. That's very important.
Vale is exactly right. District does not want teachers to use Zoom as a platform for virtual classes, yet all staff meetings are conducted through Zoom. Yes, and teachers are to use Google Meets, which will be replaced in a few weeks.
Okay, so let me comment on this, because it was very upsetting. I sat through a 2-hour training with an excellent trainer for Google Meets, only to find out in the last 15 minutes that in a few weeks, guess what? It's obsolete.
It's crazy.
And so then I'm going to have to do another 2 hours of training for schoolology or however you pronounce it. And then how long is that going to last? Now, are you doing this to me because you want me to fail at my job? Or is it really because there is such a lack of planning that, you know, I mean, it's really hard. It is so hard for us as teachers. We give up our time. I'm doing the 2 hour training. My son has to wait for me to make supper for him. My dogs have to wait for me to feed them. And then I find out, no, guess what? In like a month or so, it's going to not be working anymore.
Shout out to Mr. Whittemore, counselor at Garza Elementary. Amazing counselor. Amazing counselor. Ida, your take.
Exactly, and it just goes to show how it's the lack of respect for these individuals and the roles that they hold. You know, they don't take into consideration what these changes are because they don't get the input from the employees. They make all these decisions on their own, and it's not fair to be doing things like that. And I just don't know if it's that how you guys have said they just don't care or they just don't know any better. I don't know because some of these decisions, to me, it's just a lack of respect. Just like a few weeks ago about the choir camps and the band camps, for them to ask them to cancel at the last minute because they had to go out and pass out supplies that they had known about already for weeks. They had been sitting at the warehouse for 3 weeks, and they knew all of these supplies were coming in for a month and a half already from TEA. So there was no reason to wait for last minute on a Thursday to receive a schedule of where they had to report come Monday morning. So
one more thing, sorry, Ida. Not only do we have to learn the new platform, guess what? Now we have to coach our parents. We have to coach the students. They have to learn a whole new platform again. That's going to take at least a week or two away from instruction because they're not going to be able to log in. The password wasn't working. The system was crashing, blah, blah, going on and on and on and on. So, you know, it affects us as a whole.
It does. Yep. I'm going to ask you this real quick before I go to Frankie. And also, has there been any updates on working parents are expected to educate their children? If BISD is expecting kids to be online all day, but parents have to work? Paula, I mean, again, nobody wanted this pandemic. No one wanted it to come. But our main concern should be the safety of our children, the safety of our students, the safety of our community as a whole. We're just, I know it's like a cop-out answer, but we're just going to have to adapt and try to find individuals that are going to help us out while we help out our teachers, our principals, our district, so that all of us can move this forward together. We just have to find a way. Sorry, Paula. Frankie, your take on
you know, there's no uniformity. And one thing that really bothers me is that teachers are lazy, that they don't want to work, this is a sentiment that leadership has mentioned these past couple months, you know, and it's sad, Erasmo, ladies, that, you know, the teachers are having to justify their pay. They have to beg for the $130 raise per month. But then again, we ask them to do everything in the world. I wish that we would take this into account. And what Vero said is very true. You know, the individuals who are going to be with these children more than likely are going to be the grandparents, the tios, the tias. Maybe they're not as tech savvy as the parents are. And how long is it going to take for them to get into that routine of learning a new program, learning a new software? To us, it might not take long. It might take a couple minutes, maybe a day or two. But other people, other individuals, our grandparents, it's going to take a while. And again, that all goes back to leadership. It's going to affect the instruction.
Right.
If we would have started a little bit earlier, if we would have practiced, if we would have had a trial and error, we would have better equipped our teachers, our community to succeed. But now we are at a disadvantage, guys. And what do we expect? And guess who's gonna get the blame for this? The teachers.
Yes.
The teachers, unfortunately, are gonna be like, We told you, you got to make it happen.
Administration.
They don't care about excuses. They don't care that they themselves are the ones that put our teachers in this predicament. They don't see that. They just see you got to make it happen. There is no empathy. There is no respect. There is no consideration. And that's what bothers me. That's why I'm running, because I want to be vocal. I want to know what these teachers go through. And it's apparent that these people in leadership positions don't care.
Does AOB also, and just to answer, someone asked, and again, we were going to have Ms. Gonzalez, a candidate for BISD, on tonight. But again, they are campaigning. They are out there, doing what they can to try and, campaign. So again, we can't always count on, Frankie was late because he was out there campaigning. It just happens. So, we hope that maybe later on, Ms. Gonzalez will opt to come on, as the invitation has been made to everyone else. Ms. Miller, Argelia Miller, someone said hi to Ms. Miller. Thank you for being on tonight, Ms. Miller. Ms. Miller is interested in coming on, and we're hopefully very, very soon going to have Ms. Miller on the show, so she could share with us what her platform is and what she hopes to gain for our students and our staff in running for BISD. Does AOB also cover substitutes for legal information, Ida?
No, it's not for substitutes. It's for full-time employees. So sorry about that.
Thank you. We have been through a lot of changes, from planning first day to school and then calling one day before the classes have moved for 2 weeks, 2 more weeks. We were told to be prepared for any changes, and we are all together in this. My school district is doing all that they can to keep the students and employees safe. In every meeting, we are told to be safe first and not to stress, take one day at a time. And we all been moved around, and we will, with more duty, but with all the help and on God's hands, we will do an amazing job. Look, and I have all faith in my teachers out there. And again, look, we were on here. Vero, the money goes to the 418 salary the superintendent gets. When
So I can't feed my puppy.
yeah, that's why he is calling Peter right now while he's away from you, guys. Guys, look, our teachers are going to do an amazing job. One of the things that we lived through was the last 6 weeks, and we lived through it together, as a community, because we were on here every night during the last 6 weeks of last year. And if there's one thing that, I could wholeheartedly say, that our staff, our people, they gave it their all despite the limited resources that they were provided. And the constant changing of the guard and of information and of meetings and of systems. They did an amazing job. They are the experts. They are the ones that should have been called in order to prepare for this fall semester. As we had been saying for a while, they did not heed or listen to anyone but themselves. Y al superintendente se le sube el salario y no hace nada. Tiene 2 asistentes. Muy cierto. I always had, and will have respect for teachers and elders, 100%. Brownlow teachers, underpaid and overworked. God bless them, including maintenance, cafeteria, everyone, all supported. Saludos, Frankie and Erasmo. God bless you, my man. I'm not surprised that TASB focused on the lower level of the education. That is what was requested by the administration. 100%. The truth of it is that they also studied the higher levels. They were just not shown to us. They were kept secretive. And then when we requested them, they sent them to the Attorney General for an opinion.
That is correct. And we got to remember, though, that TASB does whatever the district tells them to do. So if the district is telling them they want a higher percentage or a higher table for the teachers or the classified or whoever, they're able to do that. TASB works for whoever it is that's paying them. So TASB doesn't make the rules on this. So they can't be throwing it back at TASB and, well, that's what TASB is saying. TASB does whatever the district says.
100%. I know that for a fact. I was there. I beg to differ. Seasoned and teachers do not make more than head coaches, offensive coordinators, defense coordinators. You are exactly right. And it is very, very disheartening. I had some conversations with a lot of our fine arts individuals here. And, they are very disheartened. Our fine arts people are very, very disheartened that, they are kicked to the shed. They are kicked to the shed. And again, nothing against our athletics. I love my sports. I love basketball. I love football. I love soccer. I love all the sports out there. I try to do my best to go to all of them. And I will be going to a lot of them starting the fall semester. But with that said, guys, you know, what we've seen is our fine arts department gutted, like our special education, our speds department gutted. And the guys, I said, you know, we have to, you know, do a turnaround. Despite the fact that our fine arts had been gutted, you know, we still get so many accolades for the amazing performances and national recognition for our bands, our choirs, our uh, our theater folks, everyone out there. So we just need to reevaluate the whole system. ¿Cuándo van a abrir los congales? No time soon, vete. Vete. My God, I'm glad I didn't read that. In my opinion, I honestly don't believe that the district will ask for an extension. They don't care right now. That makes us think that they will care. Uh, I don't think that they are expecting an extension. I think that they're going to start bringing individuals back face to face, and I think it's going to be a big mistake. Saludos desde San Antonio, Lupita. Dios te cuide. Pórtate bien. They don't learn. They need to see the news and look at the schools that reopen and quickly close. Yeah, from all the way from college level all the way to the elementaries. I mean, it's very, very taxing. Why was the testing gone down? Did they just testing from one day to the next? I think a lot of people just got frustrated with all the testing and testing and testing, and you know, the limited information. Ah, and I'm going to say this, and I hate saying it, but look at guys. When you get promised that you're going to get your test results from 2 to 4 days, and it takes 2 to 4 weeks, people get frustrated. People get frustrated, and a lot of individuals. I mean, I was getting messages every day. Erasmo, it's been 2 weeks, and I still haven't heard from anyone. And then individuals didn't even know what to do. People have shared their letters for me. I mean, my nephew was cleared with a letter that was sent. Oh, if he's doing okay. And again, I mean, thank God that my nephew, then my sister decided to go test him again. We found out that he is actually negative right now. But again, guys, I don't want a letter to tell me that my kid is negative. I want a medical professional to tell me that my kid is negative. Love your dog. We are dog lovers.
Ah,
I hate distance learning, but what I really hate is dying.
Yes.
And even two assistants of the superintendent don't do a good job unless you consider ripping off of Houston ISD plan book. Cookies, come and get my cookies. That is not a cheese crisp. Busted. Love you. That's what kind of cookies? I don't know what kind of cookies are. They're like sugar cookies or something, but they're amazing. They're not really hard. They're like soft and they're like butter. Butter. They melt in your mouth. So get the damn cookies. For information, folks, yeah, it's too much to read, Sandra. Sorry, love. Short and sweet. That's what we tell everyone. Short and sweet. Because I am really behind on the comments. Love you, Sandra, mi amor. What are the schools not being? Why are the schools not being professionally disinfected? That is an amazing question because it's a question that I have had because I've received a lot of pictures from a lot of individuals who have gone onto campus and that there's been limited cleaning. And again, not because of our custodial staff or anything other, but a lot, very minimal professional disinfecting. Look, guys, our teachers were given a box with Lysol, with not Rona, with Clorox,
it is, right?
and with a prayer book, like échale oración, vato, and una vela. Prenda la vela. A ver si no te pega la rona. That's what they were given. I'm sorry, that little box with generic disinfectant like Vero's sodas are not going to necessarily cut it out there. Ida?
On that, hi, Erasmo. On that, actually, it's very disturbing on the schools and departments not being disinfected properly because I know the district was talking about that machine that they've gotten, the 360 Clorox 360 machine. Well, come to find out, since mid-July, they've been out of the products for that machine. So that's one thing that is very aggravating because I think that needs to be communicated to the employees, because this false sense of security, thinking that they're safe and that they're disinfecting properly, people believe that, and they're going to the workplace. They're counting on that the district has their back on this, and to think that they're using all of this equipment that they have that nobody else has, and then to find out that they haven't been using that since mid-July, that's very upsetting on that. So, I mean, I just wish there was better communication with the employees to let them know what it is that they are doing, because that way at least they will be able to be prepared. They'll know, okay, the district is not doing this, then I know I need to do my part even more, and bring in my own sanitizer, do whatever it is that I need to do to stay safe. But if you're assuming that the district is doing their part and using all of this high-tech equipment, and then they're not, well, that's not going to work.
Beto?
I just, I don't know if this is fact or not, because we have to fact check this, but I'm going to say it anyway, even though I don't like saying things I don't know for sure. But from what I understand, they don't even have enough gloves for all the campuses. No. And so if I understand correctly, none of the elementaries were going to be given the appropriate PPE for when we do come back. So our kid is going to be missing things. I mean, it goes back to the fact that this should have been planned since May, June, and things should have been ordered with plenty of time, because we knew it wasn't going to go away in a month. I mean, we're trying to play catch up with stuff that we shouldn't be. I don't even know how to put it into words. It's just so frustrating that there was no planning done over the summer. No, things were not ordered on time so that they could be here on time for when the school year started. And that includes things that we need to be passing out to the kids. Then, we as teachers are the ones that get the phone calls. Well, I don't have this and I don't have that. And, I didn't order the stuff for them, but it's hard to have to tell the parent, well, you know what, we ran out.
Well, and again, I'm going to say it's just poor planning, guys. It's just a lot of poor planning. One of the discussions, and Frankie was there, one of the discussions that besides being threatened by Edelmiro, one of the discussions that I had with the board president was when she was saying, oh, no, we ordered the supplies since April. And I said, no, you didn't. Just ordered them 2-3 weeks ago. I mean, we see the meetings, Minerva. I know you don't understand what's going on in the meetings, but we do. Most of us do. And we know that y'all voted on it 2-3 weeks ago. With that said, my staff out there at the schools has been doing an amazing job in distributing material. So, and again, every morning and every night I've come on here and I've said the same thing. Parents, please be patient with my principals. Please be patient with my staff. They're doing the best job. It is not their fault. It is the fault of this administration. And you will have the power to express your dissatisfaction this October. It's just that simple, guys. It's just that simple. Frankie, in regards to the distribution, why has it taken so long? Why have we fallen short, fallen back?
Again, this goes back to March and April. We've seen how electronics have been hard to obtain. We're in a worldwide pandemic. Back then, we should have been ordering these things back in March, April, or May. It's unfortunate that we wait so long, for us to receive these things. And again, $2-3 million were spent after, we got pictures of the expired supplies that were first distributed out, which is embarrassing. But it all goes back to timing. Timing is everything in life. We have to be prepared. And my big question, my big thing, guys, is how often are we going to be able to provide these supplies to the teachers, to the classrooms? Is it going to be each school is going to be in charge of distributing a certain amount at a certain time? Or is it based on need? Again, we expect that the teacher, that the custodians, that they use that and that they do everything possible to make sure that these classrooms, because guys, let's face it, we are going to go back. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Is it going to be after September 28th? More than likely. You know, we don't expect for an extension to be requested by the district. So again, those are my questions, guys. We paid, I don't know how many thousands of dollars, Erasmo, for a disinfecting machine. If I'm not mistaken, is every campus going to be given one? Who's trained to operate this machine? And again, do our teachers just go to the supply cabinet and get as much as they need? I would hope so. But again, we don't know these things. I'm sure even leadership does not even know these things. But again, that is the card that we're dealt with. But we can change this all in November, guys.
We were just told our lesson plans. These are damn good cookies. Pick up my damn good cookies. We were just told our lesson plans need to be on program called Forethought. Come on, guys. Come on, man. We start school in 3 days. 3 days.
3 business days, yeah.
Come on, administration. Stop changing the name of the game for our people out there, folks. It's frustrating. And a lot of people are wondering, you know, they were all called into this all of a sudden meeting tomorrow at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And everyone's wondering what they're going to get told. But they expect changes, man. They expect the rug to be pulled from under their feet. I forgot the expression. But, you know, that's very, very atypical about what's going on with this district. And it all boils down to the same thing. They had no plan. None. And look, guys, and, you know, now, and I know it's beating a dead horse, and I'm not talking about Minerva. It's, you know, it's but goodness gracious, guys, we were screaming at the top of our lungs. Prepare something since April, because we knew we were going to go into distance learning this fall. And you know what, guys? And I know a lot of teachers, Vero and Ida, a lot of teachers that have been on here, you know, since March and April. And they told me at Erasmo, we're preparing for distance learning. So they were a little bit ahead of the game. Wouldn't we be in a better place, Vero, if we had just started to prepare since April at least?
So here's the thing. BISD has amazing educators, right? We wouldn't be an A district if we didn't have them, right? And that's through the disrespect. That's through the lack of planning on the part of the district. That's through the lack of empathy and compassion. That's through a pandemic. That's through all of these things. We're still able, on top of a pandemic, having all these different things thrown at us, we're still making it happen. We're still killing it. If the plans were in place, if there was respect, if we felt like we were worth something to the district, if we felt appreciated, can you imagine where we would be? Or how much further we would be in comparison, because we wouldn't be being beaten down.
100%. It's an embarrassment that the NBA and NFL can opt out of season due to coronavirus and get at least $150,000 stipend. I could live on $150,000 for 10 years. But our teachers are being called lazy and have to justify their salaries and are belittled by forcing them to perform duties beneath their education. Ida?
Yes, and that's very frustrating, and we shouldn't be ashamed of what we're voicing up, because you know, it's our lives that are on the line. So you know what, if they have a problem with it, so be it, but we are not going to continue. I mean, we're not going to stop advocating for your safety. And no matter what it takes, and I don't care how tired they are of hearing it, this is very important. And they can shame us and try to make us feel guilty that we're asking for safety procedures to be put in place, for a plan to be made public that is taking care of everybody. Then so be it. They can shame us all they want, but we're going to continue to advocate for your safety, and there's no shame in that.
I want to make a comment on what Mr. Guzman said about Squology being amazing. It may be amazing. I just wish I had known that that's where we were going to go, so I could have been preparing for that weeks ago. But instead, I'm preparing for a program that is not going to be working in October. And I mean, it could be as amazing as anyone says it is. And it would have been even more amazing because I would have been able to learn how to work it. My coworkers and I have been for 2 weeks already or longer playing with the Google Meets and the stuff that the district wants us to be on, just to make sure that we've mastered it, to find out, guess what, in October, bye-bye to that. And then we're going to have to do that all over again.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. And, a lot of individuals have to take trainings and prepare and then be able to teach it to others and to explain it to parents. And they're going to be the IT people for a lot of the students that they're having out there. Ida, you want to comment?
Actually, it was on something else that she started to say.
Go.
And as far as on the disrespect to the employees, we have seen such an increase in cases where our members are being disrespected at the workplace by their immediate supervisor or someone. And it is so sad that it is getting to this. And I have to believe that this is coming from the top. When they see this type of behavior, they think it's okay, I guess. And it's trickling down even more now. But we've seen so many of our members that at this time, as stressed out as they are, the difficult time that they're going through and trying to prepare for the school year, for them to be disrespected by different directors, be it their principal or whatever, any type of person in authority, it's heartbreaking to see that. And I believe it's coming down because that's what they're seeing at the top. And this has got to come to a stop. We've been filing complaints. We've been voicing them to different administrators and things like that. And I believe that we have to have a positive work environment. We need to value every employee. And we haven't seen this number of complaints about disrespecting the employees ever. Not at this number. I mean, we'll see them every now and then where an employee will come from this campus and is claiming this or whatever. But it's been a very high number of concerns with that. And I just wish that during this difficult time that they could be a little bit more supportive of what each employee is going through. The teachers are facing difficulties, your clerical staff, your TAs, your custodians, your maintenance, everybody's going through a difficult time and facing different obstacles for the workplace. And there's no need to be ugly with them. And to be seeing such an increase in that, it is very sad at this time, because we should be trying to help each other during this difficult time. And that's the only way we're going to be able to get through this. And but like I said, because I've seen it, I see it coming from the top. So these directors or these principals, and I'm not saying it's all of them, because we have great principals, we have great directors out there as well. Yes, and they're members as well, some of them. But to be hearing such a increase in numbers with that, it's not right. Not during this time. We need to be working together to be able to get through this, especially through this year, because we don't know what's up ahead. So that's one thing that I just wish everybody could just be more respectful to one another. I don't care if you are a director and you're talking to cafeteria personnel or you're talking to a custodian. You treat everybody in a respectful manner. and that is uncalled for, in my opinion. And we're going to continue voicing up those concerns of disrespect, because we need to try to be supportive to all employees.
100%. Where's the money going to once you all get on the board, specifically SPED, etc.? Let me guarantee you one thing. Again, no promises can be made, but I'll guarantee you one thing, Rolando. They're not going to go into the pocket of Sylvia Atkinson or any board member, because the individuals that get appointed, not get appointed, not like little lady. So individuals that get elected this time around are going to have to live by transparent stewardship, every single one. And we will be on here every single night, informing you of everything that is going to go on. I can guarantee you one thing: you will know exactly where your money is going to. And that's something we have not had for years. For years. It'll be different. 100%. Erasmo, the last 6 weeks of last year were just a review, and yes, BISD teachers are sacaron la daga. Se sacaron la daga. Se sacaron la daga. Yeah. They said, no, es que sí es cierto. Se sacaron la daga to make things work. They really, really did, man. And let me tell you, again, I want to share something with people out there. Guys, I was up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, conversing with a lot of the teachers who, didn't have an opportunity to come here and be on the show because they didn't finish a lot of the work that they were doing till like 11, 12 at night. And let me tell you, some of the stories that a lot of the teachers, shared with me during that time, really, really twisted my heart, twisted my heart. Because I know a lot of the teachers out there, and I know for a fact that what Sandra's saying is 100% true. Sacaron la daga. They did their darndest to be out there to do their best. And she's right. The board failed everyone. Everyone. The top administration failed everyone. And not just everyone at the district. Take into consideration that we form 50,000 of our community members who, in some way, shape, form, or other, they touch the lives of every single person in the city of Brownsville, a lot of people in Matamoros, a lot of people in Los Fresnos, a lot of people in Olmito, a lot of people in our area. So their horrible decisions, their lack of planning, really, really, really affected every single individual that we could find in this part of town. What is up, Kitty Cat? Love you.
Can I comment on that? What she had on there? We were given what 2-3 weeks to figure out in March how to make it happen, and guess what? We pulled it off. So if we can pull it off for the district should have been able to pull it off for us.
Yeah, and again, they had time. And then look, guys, they earn a lot of money, guys. They earn more money than all of us four here put together. And everyone makes more money than me, of course, but they make more money than most of the individuals out there. I calculated the top 5 people, the top 8, 9, 10. I'm horrible at math. The top 10 people at the district make more than $2.5 million. They get paid to come up with the answers, the solutions. That's what they get paid for. And they don't necessarily have to come from them, but they have to have the leadership skills to bring in individuals together to powwow and brainstorm on what to do. They brought in no one, not one nurse, not the director of nurses, no teachers, no diagnosticians, no counselors. They all just relied on themselves while they were being protected. 2 people to 500 square meters of office space, guys. Where's my shirt, kitty cat? Tomorrow, your shirt will be ready tomorrow. It's only a day away. Once people get sick, and we know it will happen, sadly, is BIC going to report those numbers? How can they be trusted? Nobody believes them anymore. Can we trust this board? and this top administration, uh, at this point, no. They're going to have to do a complete 180 in the next couple of weeks, in the next couple of months, uh, to make me believe that they care. But then again, guys, it's like Philip Cowan out there taking pictures in front of schools. I visited 5,000 schools today. It's called election season, guys. They want your votes. And for administration to, all of a sudden start being responsive to people is that they know that a new board is coming. A new board that will listen to the people, that will return the board to serve the people of the city of Brownsville and not the other way around. Head Start's going virtual. Yes, Head Start's going virtual, and that is great, great news. And I had a lot of friends out there sending me messages at Erasmo, please address the Head Start program. We had the opportunity to speak with our county health department, a lot of our local city health department, and I'm glad that they listened, and I'm glad that they made the right choice right now. They have old buildings, old AC units. Will they not be paying for the professional disinfecting company teachers have to buy everything as usual, even in a pandemic? Que triste. Well, that's guys. I know teachers. I actually talked to two teachers today that have already spent in the upwards of $1,200. In the upwards of $1,200 in order to prepare for all this. So no, it's not easy. No, it's not they're lazy. No, it's that they don't want to work. Everybody wants to go back to face to face. Don't forget the expired hand sanitizer, Aida.
Definitely not. We're
Aida.
definitely going to continue to watch out for all of these things.
La vela, préndala. Feel bad for teachers. Amen. Isai, I need you to come and visit me. Good to hear. Head Start wants to go virtual. It's good confirmed. Yes, it's been confirmed. Head football coaches in AOC and DC positions don't teach classes, but they teach athletes classes. They need to win or their jobs are on the line. That's the truth. Yes. Once again, misspending funds. I remember them bragging about spending millions on those machines, and now they aren't even being used. Ridiculous. Well, you know what's funny, Ida? They care. A lot of times they'll come out on one meeting going, you see, and then all of a sudden, a couple of months or a couple of weeks pass and go like, oh, please don't see, please don't see, please don't see. What's up with that, Ida?
Yeah. And you know what the thing is about that is I understand things happen. Apparently what they're saying is because there's a shortage of the liquid that they use for that, but then you know what, but let people know that it's not being used at this time. So that's where we have the issue with is the lack of communication. People are under the impression because they saw all the videos that were put out about these machines that cost so much money and we were the only district that got them and all these things. So you're under the impression that they're being used. And, people were starting to wonder, was like, well, when are they being used? Because we haven't seen them in a while. And so sure enough, it was because of that. So just let the people know. Keep the people informed as to what's going on, and because that's a big problem. And the other thing that we have a lot of concerns with is the contact tracing that is not being done in the district.
No.
That is the worst thing that could be going on in the district. And TEA, I mean, if we want to follow what TEA recommends so much, that is one of the things that TEA does recommend. For the district to have contact tracing enforced, and it is not being enforced in the district at this time. So I think that is not helping at all. This is not something to be ashamed of who comes out positive in this. This is something that we need to be open about in order to reduce the exposure and try to quarantine as many people as they need to be right away, not a week after they've been all around the district or, into other campuses and things like that. So there is absolutely no contact tracing going on in the district, and that is heartbreaking. That is so upsetting. So
Very.
we're going to continue to push for that and request that, because that we believe is very important.
Fernando, please come by tomorrow, 1240 East Madison. Come pick up some signs. Come pick up some cookies. And hey, anyone out there that wants some face coverings, tomorrow they're coming in tonight. Oh, but don't worry, the board sure they have attorneys for their subpoenas. Disgusting. Yeah, it is disgusting. I think that we were more unified when the pandemic began. Teachers used platforms and they were known to the kids. Now they are throwing platforms left and right, back and forth. Every which. Quick question: what happens to the families that don't have internet? The district is supposed to be providing hotspots, or in the words of Philip Cowan in La Minerva Pingüina, "Puto calientes, puto calientes, puto calientes, puto calientes, puto caliente." O baby shower, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi. Weep, weep,
You're making me show all my ganas.
It's all that sugar rush that he has.
It's not cookies. Going to stay up late tonight to see how Google Meets is like. Hope I can share this review. Second camera, man. God bless you, my primo.
Let me just tell you, Mr. Castro, when you share your screen, you can't see the students and what they're doing because the screen takes up the whole. You have to figure out how to bring in another browser, and I mean it's.
How is a class with 27, 28, 30 students supposed to social distance, sitting 6 feet apart? It's impossible. It can't happen. It's that. And what's going to happen, Lucy, from Peanuts, I'm going to think that they're going to start to change the CDC guidelines to it in order to comply and say it's going to be okay. And that's just very unfortunate. It's not poor planning. It's total negligence and total disregard from our board, plain and simple. You are, again, Sandra, you're on point. Elections should have been ordered in 28 electronics. Elections. So in my mind's that should have been ordered in 2018. I agree. Well, and actually, it's kind of funny that you say that because, we introduced a platform and, put it in the lap of administration in regards to making our district a one by one. I'm talking about after the first conference that I ever assisted. We brought back and did the 1 by 1, and after that, we had the Smart City Initiative. As much as Philip Cowan wants to say, "Oh, I'm doing all this in technology," he is taking credit for a lot of the work that Miss Alma Rubio and the staff did back when I was the chair of the technology committee. And guys, it's very frustrating because I'm sorry, Philip Cowan didn't get you those hotspots. Philip Cowan didn't get you those computers. Philip Cowan didn't up the game in regards to technology. That is a lie. That is a lie. Miss Alma Rubio did an amazing job. And you know what? It's about time.
Shout out to her. She's amazing.
She is amazing. It's about time we start giving credit where credit is due. And look, guys, I know it's a political fluke. It's a political game. It's a political little thing like, oh, look at what I did. Guys, don't run on something. No saludes con sombrero ajeno. Miss Alma Rubio has done an amazing job at the district in regards to doing her best to up the game in regards to technology. And if we have anyone to thank for the first few steps that were taken, they are to Miss Alma Rubio. And again, I only know her as a workhorse because of her work ethic and because of her dedication and devotion to the district. I have no relation. I haven't communicated. I think the last time I saw her was maybe like 6 months ago at a movie that we ran into each other with. But again,
she is has amazing work ethic. She is beyond professional, and I remember she had such an impact on me when I was attended my new teacher orientation. Her professionalism, her motivational speaking, just all around, like, wow. She had such an impact on me that I see her and I get like excited because I know that we have somebody like that working with our district. She's amazing.
If we and let me tell you something, now it's the Alma Rubio section, but Miss Rubio is really amazing. Miss Rubio, you could like uh, ask her to stand up and speak on the fly without being prepared. Just Miss Rubio, would you say some words, present? And
Oh,
it's like boom, like she had prepared for it
for
for
a month.
days,
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
weeks. And, it's a gift, being able to be on a platform for hours and just speak and speak and speak and make funny faces and look handsome and totally not fat. It's a gift. It's a gift. And you know, uh, but Ms. Rubio is a very gifted individual, a very gifted individual. And guys, I'm sorry, as much as Philip wants to take credit for the technology and the hot spots, the punto caliente, punto caliente, and a lot of the things that the administration has done, es saludando con sombrero ajeno. And I know Philip understands Spanish, so he's going to understand the expression. Miss Alma Rubio. So I'm going to encourage all the board members out there, stop taking credit for what others have done. Give credit to where credit is due. We have amazing people that work for this district. And Miss Alma Rubio is just one of those individuals. If and when teachers go back, what's going to happen when they have small children that are remote learning in another school district? Who will take care of them? Again, just don't know. A lot of answers that we don't have. My sister's an elementary school teacher, and she's been getting anxiety attacks. Had to restock her meds. My prayers go out to her, Yesenia. And again, we've been getting the same complaints from hundreds of teachers out there. And
We get a lot of calls like that at Erasmo, and it's like you're talking people off a ledge, like, and you feel for them. Your heart breaks for them because it shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that. We should not be feeling that way. We should feel supported. And the lack of support makes the anxiety. There's already the anxiety of the pandemic, and then the lack of support, the lack of planning, the lack of structure, and what's the word, Ida, across the district,
uniformity.
uniformity across the district. All of that causes even more anxiety. I mean, and we Ida, we get calls and we have to calm. We try to calm people down because it's so unnecessary. It is so unnecessary.
Yeah, and when I say it's heartbreaking, it's because it's so many calls and so many emails or messages that we receive when it's people like that, and we're talking them off the ledge of, no, it's going to get better. Don't give up. Let's hold on a little bit longer, and try to guide them with the different things that they can do. So, we're hoping that they continue to hold on. I know it's very difficult, but we have the most amazing employees here at BISD. And if they can find, if somebody can find a way to make this work, it is them. Sometimes I apologize for what they are being put through by the district. But like I said, just continue to please hold on. We're trying all that we can do to make this better. And it shouldn't be like this. These last minute decisions, we shouldn't be having to barely inform these educators that they're going to be using this platform, but now it's going to change in October, when they were saying it was going to be a whole lot easier this coming year, and the platforms were going to be more uniformed, and there was going to be less choices out there. So now it's actually a whole lot worse. And we apologize for that you're having to go through this, but we ask y'all, just to please continue to hold on and, send us your issues and concerns on this. And we are voicing them as much as we can. And we're going to continue doing that.
We can prepare as much as we can, but the last minute changes and uncertainty makes our planning useless. And Denise, that is the same frustration that I have heard throughout this whole week. And you're on point. I don't know how they expect us to go hybrid or face to face if they're overloading us with students. I have classes as big as 40 students, high school. How do they pretend to distance 6 feet with the amount of students in just one class? A reassigned reassign a teacher in our pathway to another school, and now the ones that stayed are getting bombarded with students. This is happening throughout the district. No regard, no care, no concern. Great job, Veronica. Amen. But teachers start preparing early and then they get switched up on us. It's frustrating. 100%. Teachers, we have been silent for way too long. Silent no more. And no more crumbs. No more crumbs.
On the numbers where the campuses, I'm sorry, it's because I have such a sore neck. But the numbers where the campuses that have a lot of overage, please do let us know. We are looking into those, and so that can be fixed right away. Either it's vacancies that haven't been filled, or we need to see and find out what it is that's going on. So we have gotten a few concerns. I know there is some campuses that they have reached out already. I know I've gotten some text messages, and we are looking into those already. But please do let us know. Email us if some people at your campus are experiencing the 34 or 35 and 40 numbers for classrooms sizes. So let us know, guys.
Morale is down across the district. Our work is dismissed and undermined.
Yeah.
Remember, in November, we have 5,000 schools. What the hell? Where do I live? I exaggerate sometimes. Yet we, the taxpayer, are still getting charged for schools and college tax. If nothing has been happening with the COVID-19, I pay $2,000. How about we all of us stop paying school taxes? Maybe the leadership might listen to us then. Erasmo, y'all are awesome. You are awesome, Oscar. Love you, man. Does BISD have any policies regarding virtual learning, student expectations, parent involvement, consequences for misuse of virtual classroom? No. The student misbehaves during the virtual lesson. What are the teachers? No. We talked about discipline. No. Does anyone have any idea on the issues? No guidance. You're right, Belle. You are right. 11 deaths, 250 new infections. I will be there. Awesome. Thanks. Love you, Fernando. Gracias, Gaba. We will need to download and install multiple extensions to the Google Meets efficiently and learn how to use all of them by. Hey, so y'all have nothing to do this weekend, teachers.
Wow.
But see, we have to download all these extensions, and then we're gonna have to somehow get it off, all of that off of our laptops, to then install the new Schoology. But that doesn't really come off your laptop, so then your laptop starts lagging. Then you have to go buy a new laptop for another $1,200, $1,300. Really?
Crazy. Do you have more stickers? Yes, and Marco, I'm getting no more crumbs stickers. No more crumbs stickers. So if you see a lot of cars out there with no more crumbs, it's a lot of people that have been frustrated and they just are not going to be satisfied with crumbs. No more, no further, no longer. Alma is great. She is great. Still on my laptop working. My prayers. I'm glad you're watching this in the meantime. Wow, Edinburgh making fun of special ed while made it Child Find News. Very unfortunate. Very disgusting. Very unfortunate. Disgusting. And someone may mention, well, it sort of explains the mentality right now at our upper level, where our people at the upper hinges of the chart also come from the same area. Alma Ruby is amazing, very professional, as they should all be. Precious, you are on it. It's typical high paying administrators to have credit for someone else's work, just like Gutierrez taking credit for the A grade in the district. Yes. So classified gets 3% raise, but we have to spend more than that to have internet to work from home, no stipend, and you're right. Enough is enough. No more silence. Vote Erasmo. I can't argue with this comment. Remember in November, vote Erasmo, Frankie, Carlos, Marisa, and Vero. We need all 5 seats. We do. When a district as a whole does not back up their teachers, people lose respect for educators. The only people teachers can be compared to is health workers who working at a hospital minus the PPE training, and teachers go in blind, not knowing what the virus is. Horrible leaders. James is right. And the problem is, and again, they're on the front line and they get blamed for everything. that there's no office supplies, there's no this, there's no that. They get blamed for everything. And
That is
then we'll send a disruptive kid back to the class with a stern talking to. I want a Sylvia. Sylvia, give back the money sticker. I can get that for you. Rubio is awesome.
yeah,
Gotcha.
amazing.
Thanks. Teachers, remember how we are being treated right now. Yes. Do not forget. It's 75 days away, guys. 75 days away. After 75 days, everything can change. It all depends on you. Everything can change in 75 days. Miss Rubio is hard work and a wonderful person. Ida, final words.
Oh my gosh, it's going to. There's so much coming up in the next few weeks, and I don't know. We had our show earlier today, so we did mention about the importance of coming out to vote. And in these next few weeks, we're going to start the process of coming out and endorsing candidates for the local level, and also pushing for people to come out to vote for the state and, of course, national level. It's important that we endorse and support candidates that have our health and safety in mind. And so we're encouraging everybody to get more involved on this. So next week on Thursday and Friday, we are going to start with having live forums on our show. And we are going to start reaching out to every single candidate starting tomorrow. So we encourage you guys to follow us on our page. If you're a member, you can also submit your questions that you're going to want. If you want to ask a question to any of the candidates, we will be doing that, but we do need to receive your questions beforehand. So be looking out for all of these different things, because we do plan to get very involved in this upcoming election, because it is very important. Also, we've seen the decisions that are coming from at the national level and that are impacting us with also at the state level with TEA, the governor, and all of these different things. So this is where we cannot forget the impact these decision makers have on us. And we are seeing it, we are feeling it. Our safety is on the line, and we cannot stay silent anymore. So we hope that everybody reaches out, gets involved, and follows us with the upcoming forums that we have and endorsements of candidates. And even though we are on this show, Erasmo knows, we are going to give every candidate an opportunity to speak up. Every candidate will have an opportunity to answer questions, and our membership will have the opportunity to vote and see which candidate they want to support and want to endorse for the association. So it is your voice being heard. And then once we go with the endorsement, we hope everybody is able to get involved, because it's going to take everybody in order to bring change at all levels as needed. So we hope that you continue to follow us and stay informed. So thank you.
Vero, last words.
I just want to, Ida didn't leave much for me to say. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
We know you better.
I just want for people to know, your voices are very important. We need to get heard. We are the largest association in our district, and we can sway the vote the way we want it. We just need to be united. We need to thank you, James.
Thank you.
We need to be united. If you are an employee with the district, but you're not in an area where you can vote for BISD board, send your family to vote. We need the votes out. We really need the votes out. And in our podcast that we had earlier, we talked about how the vote counts for us here locally and all the way up to the national. So please, if you didn't watch our show, you can visit our YouTube and watch the show and see all the things that we discussed all the way up to the national and how it will affect us in education. Thank you, Erasmo, for giving us this platform to speak and express concerns and discuss different things. And like Ida said, everybody's going to have a chance to give their platform and what it is that they're running on, and then our members will choose for us. But I do want to say thank you, Erasmo, for giving us this platform and for allowing us to speak and discuss the issues that are very important to our members.
No, thank you all so much. Let me tell you, one of the things that I am very, very impressed is, y'all being so proactive, y'all being fighters out there. And for a long, long time, as our community has been craving for individuals that, are vociferous and, who will fight for our rights and for our staff's rights. So, no, all thanks goes to you all. And again, it is an honor to have you on here with us. Uh, guys,
Ay, cocina!
so cute.
Chica says hi.
So cute.
Why are you
Guys,
telling her she's abusing hers?
yes.
Because he's not barking or crying.
You're hardworking, and we appreciate the words and the willpower.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Who's in charge of the vote count for board elections? Remy Garza, elections, and I think he's going to do an amazing job. We have no leadership. Oh my God, adorable me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, guys, next week will be the first, I would dare say, the first forum out there that is going to be offered for candidates out there. Guys, an amazing opportunity to hear from all candidates. Again, this platform, my platform, which is your platform, is always open to every candidate that is seeking office, no matter who you are, no matter who you're running against. So the invitation is still open. Guys, again, please let's stay safe. If your family member, your loved ones, your neighbors are in need of medication, need of groceries, go help them out. Go buy them anything that they may need. Leave it at their doorstep. Guys, also, guys, please, as the continue to visit with me tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Like I've told a lot of my staff out there, teachers, I've already gotten permission for you for during that time to drop everything that you're doing and listen to my 9 in the morning show. So you're gonna be okay. Guys, but if you can't be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, please, tomorrow at 9 o'clock, guys, please be good to each other and please be good to me. God bless.